My name is Katie Clark, and I'm the solution consultant in the North America region here at ProScope. Prior to ProScope, I was a solution consultant at NetSuite, where I developed my foundation of NetSuite knowledge and also had the privilege of working with several customers in the construction industry. So I understand the challenges and would like to take this time to talk you through how you can unlock efficiency for your business when it comes to AIA billing. For our agenda today, we'll start off with an introduction to AIA billing. We'll go through some common challenges relating to AIA billing. From there, we'll go through streamlining payment applications with ProScope. Then afterwards, we'll talk through enhancing NetSuite with ProScope.
AIA billing typically follows a specific payment schedule tied to project milestones or project phases. Meeting these deadlines is crucial to ensure timely payments to contractors and subcontractors. Delays or discrepancies in billing can lead to payment disputes. Managing cash flow is always critical in a project. Any delays in AIA billing and payments can really put strain on the project finances, which can have an immediate impact on project timelines and profits. AIA billing forms often require various levels of approval from project stakeholders to architects, owners, and lenders. Coordinating these approvals can be a big challenge. AIA billing involves extensive documentation, including detailed schedules of values, payment applications, and change orders. The process of updating these documents can be time-consuming, and errors or omissions in the documentation can lead to payment delays or disputes. In summary, AIA billing is challenging due to the complex documentation, contractual intricacies, compliance requirements, and the need for precise communication and coordination of various stakeholders.
All right, without further ado, let's get into the demo portion. So we are now logged into the home dashboard for ProScope/NetSuite. And one of the first things we'll see when we log in is our project launchpad. And this is going to list all of our outstanding projects that I'm assigned to, and also the ProScope shortcuts to execute key functionalities that relate to the various stages in the project, which will include invoicing, and we'll dive into that more in detail later on. But for now, let's dive into one of the projects here so you can see exactly where all the data on this dashboard is originating from and what these shortcuts are tying back to. So we'll click into Project 4. And once we get to this project record, you'll see that this project record is going to be the single source of truth for all data pertaining to this project, including billing. So on the main tab, you'll see all of our core primary project information and project metrics, and these will be updated in real time based on relevant transactions that are tied to the project. But before we start the invoicing process, I want to expand a little bit more on the setup relating to the activity codes that we talked about earlier. So in order to do that, we'll scroll down and click into our Schedule WBS subtab, and more specifically our ProScope Activity Task section. So to start this process, we'll take a look at the ProScope activity tasks for this project that are already linked to other NetSuite project tasks on this project record. And as you'll recall, application for payment process supports percent progress based billing and also milestone based billing methods. So we'll open up a couple activity codes here just to show you the difference between how those two can be set up. So scrolling down here a little bit, we'll use our plumbing contractor activity code as an example, and clicking into this activity code, we'll be able to see more information about the activity code from a setup perspective. So project progress-based billing is a specific percentage of a task that's marked as complete, applied, and billed for cumulatively. And as you'll see, that is going to be the billing method that we've indicated for this activity code here. Milestone billing will essentially be the same. However, just 0 or 100% is going to be marked as complete, applied, and then billed for instead of a specific percentage. So essentially, once you've done your initial estimate and the corresponding buyout process, that will reflect in the activity value for that task. And once we mark the specified percentage of this task complete, that will indicate what percentage will be taken from the activity value and then added to the application for invoice. And you can either update this percentage individually here from the activity code directly, or in bulk when creating the application, which we'll see shortly. And when you make changes to the percentage complete, this will do it incrementally, so the system is tracking exactly what has been applied for, so you don't need to manually calculate any subtractions. And now that we've gotten a little background into the setup on the back end of things, let's return to the home dashboard to actually begin the invoicing process.
So to kick off the invoicing process, we're going to start by creating an application for payment. And we can do that directly from the project record, or we can do that from the project launchpad on our home dashboard and click into our application invoicing shortcut. So we're going to do that here for project number 4. And once we click into that shortcut, it's going to prompt us to create an application for payment for this project at its current state, or in other words, based on the milestones that are currently marked as complete and or the percentage of the various activity codes that have been marked as complete. However, if you want to adjust not create an application based on the current state and make changes, you can do so by clicking into the Manage link here. And this will list out all of the activity codes pertaining to this project and allow you to make adjustments to each activity code, as well as adjust or set retention on the project level. So for simplicity here, we're just going to include one code for retention. So we're gonna go ahead and select our plumbing contractor activity code and indicate that this is gonna be 50% complete. You'll notice here when I mark this as 50% complete, this is going to, at the bottom here, it's going to automatically calculate the total. And this is not going to be the exact amount that it's marked at $7,500 because it's going to take into account that 10% retention that we've set. So once we're ready, we're going to create this application. And once we've submitted that application for payment, we are then prompted with the confirmation of that submission and have a link back to the project record so we can see how that's tying back to the project itself. So we're going to click into our project record here to go back and see what the application for payment looks like and how it was received on the customer end. So we're going to scroll down into our application payment sub-tab on the project record here. And before we dive into that individual application that we submitted, wanted to pause here and really just explain how all the information that is tied to the transactions that we submit for our application for payments and invoicing is going to roll right back up to the project record. And you'll see this here in a summarized fashion. So not only is this going to indicate the totals for the applications, however, it's also going to break down the information based on retentions. So this is going to indicate the percentage of retention that we've set. Also, you're able to set a maximum retention amount. So if you have a certain retention on a project basis, you're able to set that and have it be automatically taken into account once that threshold has been reached. And then also this will summarize the total retention that's held to date based off all the applications that you've raised. But now that we've talked a little bit about summary metrics based on applications, we can go and look into the actual applications that we've submitted themselves. So to do that, we'll go into our ProScope application sub-tab, and scrolling down here, we'll see the third application is the one that we most recently submitted. So we'll click into that and use that as our example. Now that we're in the application, you'll see that all of the information that we saw at the submission level is going to be reiterated and summarized here. One thing though I wanted to point out is that this application has not been certified yet, as we're going to do that in the next step of the process. But also wanted to show what it looks like from the customer point of view when this application is sent out. So we'll click into print view here, and you'll see our AIA compliant version of the application for payment is going to be what the customer sees. So in the contractor's application for payment section, it'll break down the amount that's being billed for, the totals, the effects of retainage on those totals, and really break it down line by line. And then scrolling down to the second page, this is where they'll see the actual activity code itself, how much of the percentage is being applied towards it, and any retention that's being included. So they'll get a very detailed view on the second, more detailed view on the second page, and more summarized view on the first. But we'll head back to our application for payment here and go ahead and go with the next step of certifying the application. So in order to do that, we can set a shortcut on our dashboard, or we can go into our drop-down for application for payments and certification and invoicing. Now that we're here, we can see all of the outstanding applications for payment that need to be certified. So when we select the application that we are looking to certify, we can either go ahead and certify it, or we can click invoicing applications here, which will both certify and raise that application for invoicing. This is only applicable if you have two different people, two different users, both one certifying and the other invoicing. However, for our demonstration today, we're just going to go ahead and invoice those applications, so it'll be certified and raised for invoicing in one step. So we'll go ahead and invoice invoice that application for payment, and then we'll click back into our home dashboard and see how that was reflected in real time. You'll see now that when I refresh my reminders, the first reminder that I've set up on my home dashboard is application invoices that have been created in the last 10 days. So we'll go ahead and click into this reminder so that we'll see a summary of all of our recent invoices. And we'll see at the bottom here our most recently created invoice, and we'll go ahead and view that record. Now that we're at the invoice record, you'll see that the appropriate amounts is reflected, as well as it's still going to be linked to the project and customer that we've been referencing. And now that this is a standard NetSuite invoice, it'll follow NetSuite's native invoicing process. And now that we've walked through the invoicing process end to end, I wanted to take a look at what data we now have visibility into from a reporting perspective. So as you'll recall, ProScope is going to be built for NetSuite, so all ProScope billing transactions will reflect across all relevant native NetSuite reports. But additionally today, I wanted to just highlight some custom ProScope reports that have focused on billing. So one of those is going to be our over-under billed report. And this report is just a real-time overview of all outstanding projects and helps monitor whether a project is going to be ahead or behind schedule in terms of billing and costs compared to the work completed. And this is also going to take into account any retentions that have been applied for. If we scroll to the right here, any retentions that have been applied for, and reflect that in the report in real time. And this report is just going to be a really valuable tool for project managers and controllers to keep projects on track, manage costs effectively, and also maintain transparency and compliance with contractual obligations. The second report I wanted to show is our job overview report. And as opposed to the previous report that gives an overview of projects separately, this job report is going to show a more succinct and summarized performance view of all projects as a whole. And this report provides real-time visibility into project performance of the company as a whole. And this info really contributes to more informed strategic decision-making, which ultimately leads to future company success. Now that we've walked through the invoicing process end-to-end and reports pertaining to invoicing, that concludes the demonstration portion of this presentation. Thank you so much for joining.
The top advantage of the AIA billing feature in ProScope is its ability to streamline and simplify the complex process of progress billing in construction projects in NetSuite. NetSuite doesn't support AIA billing natively, so ProScope automates this process while still remaining on NetSuite's unified platform. This feature automates the creation of detailed billing applications following the guidelines set by the American Institute of Architects, or AIA. It also allows project managers and contractors to easily track and invoice for work completed, ensuring accurate and timely payments. And this not only saves a significant amount of time, but also minimizes billing errors, enhances cash flow management, and improves overall project financials. So the top two reactions I see most commonly with prospects after showing them ProScope's AIA billing feature is amazement and relief. First, amazement really at the automation that our AIA billing feature offers. They really appreciate that it can automatically generate accurate billing applications based on project progress, eliminating the need for manual calculations and paperwork. And second, really that relief of
all the time being saved, because a lot of prospects immediately recognize the time saving potential, and they understand how this feature really can significantly reduce administrative overhead, allowing project managers and contractors to focus more on actual project work. The most common question I receive from prospects about AIA billing in ProScope is, does this feature support changes and revisions? And the answer to that question is yes, absolutely. So with ProScope, you have the flexibility to handle changes and revisions seamlessly. So whether it's scope adjustments, new work items, or modifications to existing tasks, our AIA billing feature can accommodate that all. So when a change occurs, you can create and track change orders within ProScope, and these change orders are integrated into the billing process. So that means you don't have to worry about any manual adjustments or recalculations. This process is also very transparent. So our system ensures that your billing remains transparent, so clients or project owners can see exactly how changes are impacting costs, and they receive detailed billing applications that align with AIA standards. The process is also very accurate. So ProScope's AIA billing feature maintains accuracy even with those changes. It's going to automatically calculate billing amounts so that you can be confident that you're invoicing for the correct amounts every time.
If you like what you see, feel free to reach out to our team to book a demo for more information.